All right, it's great to work out on the bag and to practice all your combinations, and it's great conditioning. All fighters use the bag to train, but it's very important when you're a beginner to remember that the bag doesn't hit back and the bag doesn't move. It just kind of like lets you hit it. So today, I want to show you a couple tactics that I used to use to create openings on my opponent and keep them on. So one of the things that I used to really like to do is I used to like to throw throwaway hooks, what I'll call is a throwaway hook, at my opponent to train their brain to start to catch those hooks. So what I'd do is Aaron, my opponent here, would be pursuing me, and I'd just be throwing these hooks that I don't even want to land to start to train his brain that when my body takes this motion, what ends up happening is that the hook comes, right? So you can see he's starting to get conditioned to always lifting that hand up, and then from there, once I had him, which I feel like I have him right now, and I have his brain trained to start doing that, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pretend that I'm throwing that hook, and when I do that, I'm gonna open him up, but I'm actually gonna throw a jab straight down the middle. So here's how that works. I throw this, and then ha, boom, and I start landing that jab. That's one of the ways that I used to create openings. Another way is very similar in logic, is I used to throw throwaway jabs. Let him catch that jab, I let him catch it, I let him catch the hook, the jab, I'm training his brain to start keeping his hands up, to block those punches, and then I would throw what we call a feint, ha! Get him to lift his hands up, ha! Stab him with the jab to the body. So again, I'm throwing punches up here just to let him catch it. There's nothing on these punches. I'm just trying to raise up his hands. And then I throw the feint, and then I land that jab to the body. All right, now I've got him in a position. He doesn't know what's coming. I throw a hook, he catches it. I throw that sneaky jab and I land it. I feint up here and I land the jab to the body. What I used to like to do from there was to get his brain to start, reaching down there on that jab. Now that's a risky thing to do, but if you give it to people a couple of times, they start to feel confident. They think that they're like untouchable, right? They think they're fancy. Maybe they do a little foot thing after, like Muhammad Ali, right? They start to get super confident until, wham, you come up with that hook. So that's what I'd do right there to land that lead hook, is I'd get them, bait them down there, and then I'd throw regular hooks up here so that they started to think that every time I threw a hook, it looked like that. When I throw a jab to the body, it looked like that. And then, whoosh, I bring it around. Jab to the body, hook to the head, jab to the body again. Now the fake out, wham! That's the one. Finally, the fourth thing I'll show you is very similar to that third thing, is how you can land a huge right hand. This is a showstopper. This one saved me in some of my fights. 1 year in the national PALs, 2009, I won the silver medal, but in the quarterfinals, fought a really good fighter who was up on the cards going into the third round, but I had been putting straight right hands on his body throughout the entire fight up until that point, and I said, look, it's time to take a chance. I established that, so what I had done is I'd be landing these punches, and he'd block them sometimes, and sometimes they'd land. Basically what I try to do is I try to draw his hands up here so that I could stab it in. So the bell rang to start the third round, and because I had been putting so many of these down here, I knew that if I telegraphed it, if I made it look very obvious that I was gonna throw a straight right to the body, he might bite on it, drop his hands, and create that opening. So that's exactly what I did. We're in between rounds, the round's about to start, we're both sitting on our stools, ding, 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 we get up, I came out here, I drew his hands down like this, boom! Landed that right hand, right on the chin, dropped him, ended up winning that fight that I was behind on because I'd put so many investments in and trained his brain to think that when I ducked my head down like that and I bent my knees, something was coming to the body. He put his hands down, he bit on it, and ran right into the right hand. So those are 4 tips from me on how to create openings on your opponent and land those big punches. These are things you can practice in shadowboxing and on the bag. Just visualize that you have opponent in front of you. And if you like this video, please comment below. If you want to see more, comment what you'd like to see, like the video, and subscribe. We'll see you next time. Hey, he's already using it. That's not fair.